I'm gonna steal your sunshine and I'll shit on your parade. Don't get me started on doing Michael Caine. My opinion matters, yours will fall in last place. I'm not shutting up and you'll be learning my name. Fifth in the family, but first in my mind. 1 out of 10, but I'm ranking just fine. We've only got now, there's no afterlife. Look, Mom and Dad, I'm just speaking my mind. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everyone's coming on Kyle tonight. Wait, what? No, nobody's coming on Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking to drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I'll never shoot up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking to drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I'll never shut up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die.
Start it again. Do it again. Play it again. Oh, welcome to Kyle Moucha Won't Shut Up live on YouTube, or you're listening in the future on Stitcher or iTunes, something like that. Welcome to, what is this, episode 6 of season 2?
Yes.
So we're at episode 6 of season 2, and what do we call it? No subject?
No subject.
No subject. That was the creative title that I could not come up with on my own.
Because we're burnt.
We're
right
burnt.
Now.
We are
From
burnt.
working on this fucking
This song tonight. You're in for a treat. You are in for something. That's what we'll say. You're in for something. We'll get to that a little bit later. Now, joining me, as always, here on Kyle Moucha Won't Shut Up is Mr. Justin Olimpado.
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Yeah? Day's all right?
Yeah, it's been all right.
Yeah? You get your, like, that sickness yet? Any sickness yet this season?
No.
No? That's good.
No.
That's good. You're keeping that off? I'm just kind of pushing it because I saw Zach ready to pop open his beer. We're also joined by Zachary Stormin. Ooh, that was a nice, soft, slow one there. That was soft and slow.
Yeah, because you, like, fucked me up on it.
I fucked you up on it. Alrighty. Joining us this week, we have two very special guests in the houseboat, Tommy Lee Jones. We are joined by Mr. Nick Dario.
Oh, hey.
This is the new thing I'm going to clap for the guests. So all the previous guests, fuck you.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever done anything in my life that has awarded any clapping. So
no, that's good. Yeah, I don't think we clapped for you the last time you were on.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I don't think anybody clapped.
Was that time you
Maybe.
There was that time you moved to Florida. We clapped for you when you moved to Florida. That was good. We applauded that. And you just heard him saying there was that time you moved to Florida. We are also joined by Mr. Kevin Sessions. Oh, welcome.
Any relation to Jeff?
Any Jeff Sessions relation?
that I know of.
Oh. Why do I know the name Jeff Sessions?
Dude, I don't know. The news.
Mostly the news.
The news?
That's a guy that they talk about on the news, but I don't really know.
That's that was the guy that was trying to get become a judge, right?
No,
Yeah.
that's not the.
No, that's another guy. Jeff Sessions. Oh, he was the attorney general that got fired. That was him.
Right.
Yeah.
No, the rapist was Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh was the rapist guy. Yeah. Sessions is a little elf-looking motherfucker.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's tiny. He looks like a Keebler elf. It's great.
I don't know.
But yeah,
Does he make cookies?
He doesn't.
Because my opinion would change.
I think he makes bad career decisions. I think that's all he makes. All right. Well, you guys are here joining us for this wonderful special episode. And to kick off the special episode, we're already talking politics. We already said Jeff Sessions. So I'm going to jump into the story that I saw earlier.
Okay.
Apparently Trump's Wikipedia keeps getting hacked, right?
Okay.
All right. So it's not just people that are editors, like that are just normal everyday editors. There's like administrative people are getting hacked, and they're editing the Trump website or the Trump page, which it's easy to do. Anybody, you can go on and edit anything.
Yeah.
I used to edit the baseball home run record page like once a week
people that go
out
through
of boredom.
That, though, right?
Yeah.
Like
It's very quick.
Checkers.
It's very quick. I literally once a week would go on after Barry Bonds broke the home run record.
Barry Bonds!
He's probably a Buka boy. You think? He's probably a
Buka boy.
Yeah. You guys don't know what Buka Boys are. Buka Boys are me and Zach. It's guys who do Buka bombs. Instead of Jaeger bombs, instead of Jaeger and Red Bull, it's Sambuca and Red Bull. And we're Buka Boys for that. But Barry Bonds broke the home run record.
Barry Bonds!
And he...
Goddamn, dude.
Everyone was saying, there should be an asterisk next to it. So then for... every week for a while, I would just go on to the Barry Bonds page.
Barry Bonds!
And the home run record, and I would put an asterisk next to his number. And it gets fixed within like 10 minutes on that one.
Okay.
I've made my own Wikipedia page, which you have to be able to reference like 3 things outside of Wikipedia that are legitimate things that can make you warrant having a page.
Okay.
And I tried to, and it didn't work. Like they are on top of it. Like I spent like a day just building like a full like biography, like real, like it was kind of stupid. But I built like a whole, I mean, it was about me. Of course it was stupid.
Right.
But it was a whole biography of like my like childhood and then like my professional and then like my career. But it never mentioned why I was famous or anything like that.
Okay.
And then I just referenced a couple of like articles I had been in. Like the one was for a play I was in high school. I was able to reference that because it's on Pocono Records website. They were all Pocono Record, but maybe that's why I didn't get approved. They were all Pocono Record website articles. The one was it was proving that I go by the name KM Shoremount sometimes, and it was because I went to see Revenge of the Sith, and I was the first person in line, but I was the last person to get there, and I just had a friend who was also the first person in line, and I snuck in, and then they interviewed me, going, "Oh, you're the first person in line," and I had just gotten there from work, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want anybody to know, like, to think that like I left work early or anything like that," so I just put it as KM Shoremount. They asked me my name, so I'm actually in print as KM Shoremount. So, but they're very on top of it, right? So Trump's Wikipedia, what they keep doing is they keep replacing his picture with just a picture of a penis.
Really?
Just a picture of a penis, which I mean, I guess like you don't want
like circumcised.
I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping it's an uncircumcised penis. I really hope it is.
No, it has to be circumcised.
Oh, not his. It's not his penis.
His dick looks like a mushroom.
Yeah, it's not his penis. They're just replacing.
Is it a stylized penis, or is it like a cartoon penis? Somebody pull the penis out.
Maybe it's a gift, and maybe it is uncircumcised. Every time they pull the hood down, it's just a picture of his actual face.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of a penis-looking face, you know? I mean, it would make sense that it would be behind some foreskin. But they were doing that. But yeah, anybody can edit.
No, this is not a dick here.
It's not a dick right now?
It might be a dick, but it's not a picture of a male genitalia.
It's a picture of the actual president of the United States.
Gotcha.
But they had, like I said, administrators were getting hacked, and they were trying to figure out where it was coming from. I just think it's people working at Wikipedia.
Probably.
Like, I don't think they're getting hacked. I think they were just like, oh, someone put a dick up again. Nah. Yeah, I'm gonna do it too. That's cool. I'm gonna put every like 6 hours. I'm just gonna change this picture to a dick.
We got hacked.
Yeah, we got hacked. Sorry about that. Now, growing up, Justin, when you were in high school, back in before the turn of the century, when you were in high school,
correct.
Wikipedia didn't exist at that point, right?
No,
you didn't have
the
that.
internet was just like starting
just
to be
starting
what
off.
it is.
Oh yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Now, when you did like research in school and you had to do like a bibliography on a paper and everything, did you ever use anything online at that point? Were you
just like a search engine, trying to find information on, like hoping that information was out there for.
Yeah. Were you asking
went to the
Jeeves?
library.
Were you asking Jeeves at that point?
Were you
I think it was Yahoo.
Alta Vista-ing?
Alta Vista.
I think it was just Yahoo.
Yahoo at that point?
Until Google came around.
Now, when I got into high school, I think it was the first or second year of high school, Wikipedia kind of, I think it was like around 2001, 2002, it kind of became a thing. And they would only let us use Wikipedia as like one reference, even though it was an encyclopedia.
Okay.
And you could use the Encyclopedia Britannica, though, for like multiple references. So a lot of kids were just like pulling, straight articles and then, handing those in.
That's why, dude.
That's why.
You can just copy and paste that and reference it.
Yeah. Now, Zach and Nick, you guys are both a little bit younger. Kevin, you're kind of more in my age range. When you guys got there, were they allowing you to use Wikipedia as like research or to back it up? Were they verifying that it was worthy of being
in Bangor? Absolutely not.
No, they didn't let you do that.
They that was not an acceptable thing. You could use it to find information, but you weren't allowed to reference it directly or like put it in the bibliography.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Did you ever use any of that, Zach?
It was exactly the same. Like you could use it to find it.
Yeah.
But you weren't allowed to have a reference in your paper that said Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Weird.
But if you go to Wikipedia, then you go to the Wikipedia
they give you the references.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You use Wikipedia constantly.
Yeah.
But you just went to those other websites.
Yeah. Now, Kevin, in high school, when you were in high school, did you use Wikipedia at all for anything? No. No. Were you using books still? Books, actual books? Primarily books.
Have you ever written a paper outside of school?
No.
I used to do it for money. When I graduated high school,
that's for school.
It was for somebody's school. Yeah,
but have you ever they pounded at us into our heads like writing papers?
Yeah.
Have you ever? We all have
in real life.
Had different jobs and different careers and stuff. Have you ever?
I wrote a sample column.
Paragraph for a resume.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had to write a sample column for Lehigh Valley Live. They're looking for a tech writer. And I didn't get called back. So that was the only time you've ever actually had to use like long form writing.
I guess unless you're going to be a writer.
Yeah, but Zach's kind of got a point though. Every single person was forced to write.
Yeah.
I mean, in my school district, at least, you had like 15
no matter
papers.
No matter what subject it was,
it was the same style.
I remember my dad having to write papers when he went to school for like radiology, and then people who go to school for something else write papers. You go to school
it's not covering what you're going to be writing.
Yeah,
towards.
I mean, I took an art class when I did like one semester at Northampton, and I thought I signed up for a writing intensive art class because I like to write, so I was like, I can kind of get through. Yeah, and it was just a regular art class, and I was the only person that signed up for in the writing intensive. So everybody else is doing like either like oral presentations or actually presenting art, and then I just got to write like 5-page papers and just hand them in because I signed up for the writing intensive.
I mean, that's cool though.
But yeah, outside
you didn't have to present anything.
Yeah, I didn't have to present. I mean, he made me read my papers because I'm pretty good at bullshitting through my way through a paper. Like I said, I used to write papers for kids in school. Like after I graduated high school, there was a kid that went to Stroudsburg, and he was writing a pro-con paper for about evolution, like the pros and cons of the theory of evolution. And I wrote the paper, like a 10-page paper for him, and I was actually pretty good at it, to the point where I would basically say, like, what grade do you want? Like, what are you shooting for? Like, are you an A+ student? Are you a B student? A C student? I don't want to all of a sudden you're a C, D student, and all of a sudden you've got this A+ paper. It's going to look kind of fake. But I would do that. But I took a lot of fun with that, where I would just sneak in quotes from movies and things. And the one paper I wrote, I forget who it was and what it was about, but I wrote a paper that opened up with a quote from The Sound of Music. Let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. When you sing, you begin with, or when you read, you begin with ABC. When you count, you begin with 1, 2, 3. And I literally just quoted do, re, mi, do, up to the do, re, mi part as the opening part of a paper, and the kid got a B. The teachers aren't even reading half that shit.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being a teacher with 30 kids in every class? Like, even if you have block scheduling, that's a fucking 120 kids. 120 papers? Fuck that. Fuck that.
When you had to do papers, though, Did you have to hand in a digital copy of your paper?
No, God no. I had to hand in a physically printed copy, and at certain points it was still handwritten like papers.
Right.
And you had to hand in.
So
and they judged you based on your handwriting.
We had to hand in the actual like typed up version, a rough draft version, and we had to give them a final digital copy because they used a search engine.
Yeah.
They would upload them to like a cloud server somewhere, and they would check your writing to see if you plagiarized
What year did
anything.
you graduate high school?
2008.
2008.
Jesus,
they were
dude.
doing that already?
Hell yeah.
Jeez, they had the cloud in 2008.
That's some crazy shit, dude.
Right?
I didn't know the cloud existed.
I don't know.
Back then.
2005 was.
Yeah, I was 2003. I graduated, and we would have to hand in. I remember having like, depending if it was an English class specifically, I would write a paper. I would hand it into the teacher. They would proofread it, and they would do like a grading there, and then you had to keep that and hand that in with your original on certain assignment. But that was like an English only type of practice. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we wrote papers in health class. You wrote papers in fucking science class.
And it was the same fucking format.
It was. I guess it's a way to show that you comprehend enough that you can write a paper. But
yeah,
Right.
even back then, cheating on those things is so easy. You just read, like, you take bits, little excerpts from 40 different things and feed them all together. No one's ever going to be able to tell.
Just use a thesaurus.
Yeah.
It's for making you articulate enough to process information.
It makes sense.
You know, the older I get, the more, like, when I was in high school, I was like, this shit sucks.
Oh, fuck it.
The older I get now, sometimes I think back, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess that's why they taught me that shit, because I was going to need it one day.
Yeah, I guess so.
And actually, physically writing a paper, I haven't needed, but I guess now that we're breaking it down, like, the things that having to write inside a paper taught me definitely did.
It gives you some structure. There's structure for
it's critical analysis and critical thinking skills.
Yeah.
My favorite.
But you didn't need it in gym class.
Yeah.
If you were writing papers in gym class, what the fuck?
I knew kids in high school that wrote papers for gym.
Serious?
It was great. They were the ones that well, I was in a chorus and band gym class. Okay. So there were people that were just like,
you were one of those.
Yeah, I was one of those. So there were kids that just did not want to participate, and they were told that they were able to write a paper instead. And I'm like, what are you just like writing on like the theory of dodgeball? Like, what the fuck are you talking about over there?
Writing about aerobics.
Yeah,
the biology behind it.
Yeah, the biology behind it. That's just as good as running a couple laps, right?
So we had kids that could opt out from like actually doing the games and stuff, and like having to play dodgeball or basketball or volleyball, and they could just exercise. Like they just let them run on a treadmill. Yeah. And you have to wear a heart monitor and have to hit a certain pace.
Really?
Oh, that's Jesus. Cool. I would have loved to do that.
You went to Bangor? You had all of this?
Yeah.
I went to
shit on
brand
Bangor
new high school in 2000, and they did not have any of that shit.
The only thing that pissed me off.
Hey, I went to Potomac Mountain. We did square dancing and line dancing in high school.
Ooh, in gym as part of your gym class?
Yeah.
Damn. Wow. I remember doing that in elementary school. Elementary school, we did square dancing.
That's never a thing to know.
And you're from Bangor, you would think that they would be doing that up there.
That never happened.
Oh my God, you guys, are there a lot of accusations of sheep being fucked in Bangor?
Oh yeah, allegedly.
Yeah. That just kind of seems like it's that part of like you go up the hill a little bit. It's just like they get bored up there.
Kids would get out of school like they would
fucking sheep.
No, just like they would.
I'm sorry, I can't come in today. I fucked another sheep. I got my sheep pregnant again. I can't do it.
No, like they would give kids off the opening season of hunting season.
Oh yeah. Everybody's. I think most people still do that.
The whole state.
My bar gave the pool league off for hunting season. There was no pool league last week because
do it for Mack Trucks. The whole first week at Mack Trucks. Nobody has to work.
Nobody has to work. Jeez.
I mean, I didn't work the first day.
Well, and actually that
was in the woods.
Well, I was going to ask you about this, Zach. You hunt, so you've been out. How many times have you been out so far since the season started?
Just for deer season, 3 days.
3 days?
Which is nothing compared to serious people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How many times has your dad been out?
He took the whole first week off. Yeah. He does every year. As long as I've been alive, he's taken the first week of rifle season off.
Right. Rifles. So is that what just the week and a half ago or last week, whenever it kicked off, that was rifle season?
That's rifle season. The They keep changing on when you can shoot does.
Okay.
Because when I was a kid, you could shoot does all the whole 2 weeks.
Okay.
Back then, you could shoot spike bucks too. Like you could literally go out and shoot
just like a little buck.
With one horn on each, like 1 point on each side. But now they keep changing it. But this year's rules was bucks only from the first Monday till the first Friday.
Okay.
So the first 5 days. And then Saturday till the end is bucks and does. And bear season overlaps, so bear season goes the whole first week of deer season and the week before.
So wait, the whole season is only a couple of weeks long that you're allowed to hunt?
2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks is rifle season for deer.
Okay.
You have
for the whole year.
Yeah.
Damn, I thought that was like the whole like winter time you have to go.
It's always different things.
Okay.
You would imagine how many deer they can kill in 2 weeks, though.
Oh yeah.
But you could go archery early in the year, and there is a flintlock later, and there's like in special places there's special rules.
Now, is it set up that way that it starts off with like the bow first because the people that aren't shooting a rifle should have a shot at getting a deer first? Is that why they go first? Is there like any real reasoning behind that? Is like the weather better for bow season earlier?
I mean, the weather is always better in bow season. And those guys are mostly up in trees, not moving.
Yeah,
okay.
And your fingers get cold real fucking quick.
Yeah. Okay, so the warmth side of things, like they need to be able to actually use their fingers.
I mean, I've never hunted deer, but I shoot my bow.
I was going to say, you've never hunted deer, but when you picked us up, there are bows and arrows in the back of your car.
I go to the range.
Because you're part Robin Hood.
Like 4 times a week. I love shooting the bow.
I am terrible at it.
Have you ever tried?
I don't have the time to like put into it.
Has your dad ever done that? Has your dad ever done the bow hunting, or has he only been strictly a rifle hunter?
He's done it all, but he's not. He has bows because he has toys, but he's not a bow guy.
See, I have 2 compounds, and I don't really care for them.
Did Nate go bow hunting?
I don't think so.
No.
I thought he did.
Now, you have like the big fancy compounds with all the wheels and extra wheels.
But those were ones that had been passed down to me. That's why I don't really use them, because compounds kind of scary, man. Like you're pulling back only 40 pounds, but they're pushing ahead like 90 or 100. With I can pull my 50-pound recurve no problem, and like it doesn't scare the shit out of me. And I feel like I have a more stable shot too.
Yeah, I think the recurve is like a cool way to go. You see guys out in deer season that like some crazy old people that are still shooting those.
I'm pretty accurate. I can get about maybe like a 4 or 5 inch grouping out to 35 yards without a sight.
But I always forget.
That's good for
in your backyard. You always have the bow stuff set up, but you always have like targets and everything back there.
Well, I go to Bear Swamp every once in a while too, which is local. It's down by Mincy Lake, and there's like no charge. There's never anyone there.
Hell yeah!
I have a target that I just hang up in the back.
Now, Zach, you went hunting this weekend. Are you able to discuss anything about your hunting experience this weekend?
See, what you do is what the old timers do. Where they're like, "Did you get anything?" Like, yeah, we got some stuff. Where did you hunt? Up on the mountain.
Yeah.
Where? Yeah. Just up on the mountain.
Yeah. So can we say that you were given an opportunity to hunt?
Yeah, we had full go of a lot of land, private property this Saturday.
Yeah.
So it was just our group.
And how many people went in the group?
10 people.
Okay.
On I don't even remember, 1,400 acres or something like.
Dang.
All private property. We had buggies and quads and golf carts to get from spot to spot. You know what I mean? Like you do one. So how you do it? You said like half the guys would set up on the edge of something, and then the other half, the other half would come around and walk through pushing. So the guys pushing aren't the shooters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then they have the shooters, you're driving, they call it driving deer.
Okay.
So we would drive, get in the buggies, go to the next spot, drive to get to the next spot.
Now, out of 10 people, how long were you guys out there for the whole thing?
All day.
All day.
Sun up to sundown.
Sun up, sundown. So a solid 12, 13 hours out.
No, it's winter, dude.
It's winter, yeah. It's only like 10. 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now, how you were going for doe at this point?
Doe, buck, or bear.
Okay, and did you get any bear?
No.
Did you track any bear?
I tracked bear 2 weeks ago. We tracked bear.
Yeah, there was that big piece of shit you showed us.
Bear is very, very.
You showed us a picture of a giant piece of shit. Most of my shit news in my life comes from Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
True.
Huge. And that wasn't bear shit. I don't know.
We don't know what that was.
If there's any feces experts out there, get in contact with me. I think I may have found a Bigfoot.
A Bigfoot
or
dropping.
A wild mountain horse.
Ooh.
Get Cisco.
A wild mountain horse.
It looked like a horse's shit, and it's way up on the mountain. And like, it's not an area where there would be horses.
There's no horse trails.
I mean, there's no wild horses here, and there's no horse trails. It's like it's like it's a place a horse would not go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a middle.
And if you
of
had a horse, you wouldn't be bringing it there.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah.
Unless you wanted to reenact some Never-Ending Story situation, and you wanted to, just drown your horse. Yeah. If you wanted to do that. Did you kill any horses?
No.
No horse. No. Is there horse hunting anywhere? Is there legally any horse hunting?
In America, you can't legally eat horse.
They do drivings though. They will drive wild horses off the land to clear the land.
Yeah.
And a lot of them get sold as to dog factories and slaughterhouses.
Wait, like drive them like off the side of a mountain and then they just collect the corpses? Like what the fuck?
Just like the free range wild horses. Like
there's a hill over there. That'll take care of the situation pretty quickly.
If they're in an area that people don't want them in.
Yeah. Okay.
They do it like once a year. Jackie gets emotional.
There's gentrification for horses?
Pretty much. And Jackie gets very emotional every year around that same
time. For every animal imaginable, there is a wildlife management for it. You know what I mean? Like, you can go out west PA where they have like big ass like corn farms.
Yeah.
You can literally shoot bear every day of the year.
Really?
Because it's just like they destroy the crops.
Pests.
And there's a lot of bear in that one area.
Pests.
The farmers could literally go out and just blast bear all day because it destroys the agriculture.
I mean, it's similar rules around here for foxes, I think, right?
Foxes, coyotes, crows.
You can shoot them all the time. You can shoot them at any point.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
It's like you can't hunt on Sundays, but you can kill varmints on Sundays.
You can't hunt on a Sunday?
No.
Legally, you can't hunt on a Sunday.
Legally, you can hunt coyotes and crows on a Sunday.
Jesus. Yeah. You can't hunt, you can't buy cars. Yeah. Jesus said so. It's very clearly Leviticus 4:12.
You can't get Chick-fil-A either.
Yeah, no Chick-fil-A. You know what? We always have like a little supply of Chick-fil-A sauce at home because,
What's Chick-fil-A sauce?
Chick-fil-A sauce is just like they're kind of like it's like better than honey mustard. They have a honey mustard, but it's like
Chick-fil-A once and it was a fucking terrible experience.
Well, I don't like Chick-fil-A per se so much.
It's very weird ordering from the drive-thru.
Yeah, I don't. Alyssa really likes it. I like the fries basically because they're the wedge fries, and I can deal with that.
Wedge?
Or not wedge, the waffle, but they're like wedged. They're thicker waffle fries. Yeah. And so we always kind of stockpile on the sauce, and then you go to like Wendy's or something, and you get better chicken nuggets somewhere else, and you just get the better sauce. And
Brilliant, dude.
It's great. Yeah. It's great. It's the fat kid's dream. It's a smart way to be if you're going to be a fat kid about sauce in different places. So you didn't get any bear. Did anybody get any bucks?
Yes.
How many bucks?
Got one.
One
Luke
buck?
Shot a 9-pointer.
Damn.
It's decent deer. And then
any doe?
3 does.
3 does?
Yeah.
Did you get nab any of them?
I did not.
No?
I drove the whole day through the nastiest, thickest, swampiest bullshit, and the girls and the old people, with the one exception of that buck that Luke shot that he was on stand for, which was because he had to go help his grandfather do something. But yeah, I drove all day and just walked through places people shouldn't be.
Did you get any rounds off at least? Did you get to shoot anything?
I didn't.
You didn't shoot your gun at all?
Yeah, some spots you can't even, like, you can't. Because it's so thick.
Yeah.
My job was just to drive them.
Just to drive them.
And I'm okay with that.
Who chooses that when you go out? I
mean, we do it's like an honor thing,
I'm saying.
You know.
Is it like I'm a better shot, so I'm going to be this? Like, is there any, or just like I'm more experienced?
No, none of them. No, nobody's like it's
drawing
just,
straws of any sort.
Some people are older.
What the hell was that? We got sounds. We got sounds in here for you. Oh, I hope everybody heard that.
Scared the shit.
That was a loud sound.
Because I was on my phone.
You're on your phone?
I muted it.
I muted my phone. That can't be you. That can't be you. We'll switch gears here from hunting to Elf on a Shelf.
Did you just subscribe?
That was me. You subscribed. That was you. You piece of shit.
So that's what it is. Thanks.
He's 123 over here. You piece of
makes
shit.
Noise now.
Subscribing. Jesus. All right. So, like I was saying, switching gears to talk about Elf on a Shelf. You guys know what Elf on a Shelf is? Everybody aware?
It's a Christmas thing, right?
It's a Christmas thing.
You're talking about the meme stuff? Are you going into memes?
No, not the meme side of things. The actual having an Elf on the Shelf in my house right now.
Oh, okay.
So last year for Christmas, Madeline was, I forget who got it for her, but was given the Elf on a Shelf, and it's a book that's just a storybook about this elf, and then it comes with this elf that
sits on the shelf.
What's supposed to happen is it basically disappears, and then on December, between like the last week of November and the first week of December, you're supposed to start placing it around the house. Now, every single night, you are supposed to move the elf from wherever it was to a different location, and it's basically Big Brother. Okay. It's the idea of this elf is watching everything you are doing the month leading up to Christmas, and it's a way to trick kids into behaving better.
Right.
But getting them to behave better only for the month of December leading up to Christmas.
This sounds fucking stupid.
It's really weird. So
that's what it was created.
That's what it's created for. Okay. It's created to get kids to be good, and to
instead of just being like you're gonna get coal.
You're gonna get coal.
Can we just bring Krampus to America?
Krampus would be great.
Oh, Krampus is great.
I would do a Krampus on a shelf.
Who are bad?
Children that are bad.
I got my naughty list, and I'm going to kill everyone on it.
You can't be Krampus. We've been over this before. You can't be Krampus. Yeah. That would be crazy though, because that's what I started thinking about.
Giant festivals walking down the street.
Yeah, the different things that have existed throughout time to get kids to behave, and Christmas is such a big thing. I mean, I remember being a kid.
Sure.
Once you got past Halloween, it was like you might not have you got to be on your best behavior, like you want good shit for Christmas and everything, and that could be used against you so well. And now this Elf on a Shelf is literally just a way for it's fucking annoying because every single night we have to move it, and we put it in the living room, and for the first day we thought it'd be funny, put it in the living room, and we toilet papered the Christmas tree, and then we put the last of the toilet paper in the elf's hands. So Madeline, who's got weird fucking ability to just find this thing like that no matter where it is, found it, thought it was funny, and then the next day it was still sitting there because I worked all night. Alyssa had gone to bed. She forgot about it. I got home. I totally forgot about it. And the next morning, Madeline gets up, runs out of her room, and sees it. She goes, "It didn't move." And I'm just kind of still half asleep, just yeah, I don't know. Maybe because it just got here. Yeah. And then later, Alyssa, being able to pull out the mom knowledge and how to handle things, was just well, you probably did something yesterday, so it's keeping extra close eye on you from this spot. And then she was like, "Ooh," and ran away. And she's like, "Oh my!" I was like, "Oh my God, this is it's Big Brother. It's
That's
fucking
impressive,
Big Brother."
You said mom knowledge.
Yeah.
Because think about all the shit your mom probably told you your whole life.
Yeah.
Did you just pull that shit out of your ass,
yeah.
Mom?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, just from my brief encounters in parenting in the last year and a half.
You should have
my brief encounters of parenting. I date a lot of women, a lot of single mothers, and these are my brief encounters with parenting. Yeah. It's I feel like I should be wearing a smoking jacket and smoking a cigar, and just a bunch of kids sitting around like me, I'm reading a story to them. Yeah. But
fireplace behind you.
There are so many weird things. Bare chested, yeah. I mean, I thought maybe I'd have a deer chest, but a bear chest would be pretty cool. Oh, yes.
Groan.
Oh, yes. Thank you for that groan. I deserved it. But yeah, being able to, I mean, it's weird because you can see when you're around a younger kid a lot that you can, like, if you were like people that are terrible parents, just realize, I can manipulate the fuck out of this being and make them think anything I want for forever. Like, they can make you believe in Santa Claus. They can make you think this elf is really watching you. Yeah, it's religion as a whole. Sure. It is literally religion. 100%. They can convince you that this thing, and then it's instilled in you for forever. Like, it's just like something you can't beat off. I think anybody that you can't you can't beat it off. I tried jerking off religion so much. You can't beat it off. You can't beat it off. It's like
the Panic at the Disco remix album.
Yeah.
A religion you can't beat off.
I'd listen to that. Nobody else would, but I'd be all about that. Imagine they just went straight religious and that was the album that they put out because they still wanted to say beat off.
Oh, I just had the greatest idea.
What is it?
You know that new Panic at the Disco song, like high hopes for a living.
Yeah.
Like with the chorus, the words are because I gotta have high hopes for a living.
It's
so
bad.
What about if we flipped it? It was like, because I get high for a living.
I get high.
And then made like a beat and gave it to like Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa. One of them.
That'd be a good idea.
One of them weed rappers. You know those rappers that only rap about weed.
Actual song.
Bitch, I get high for a living.
Still making music. It's kind of sad and depressing.
I sort of like it.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's on the same plane for me as the new 30 Seconds to Mars, which is like that weird dancey crap. Yeah. Another band that released a new album recently was, I know Zach was never a big fan of them, was Saves the Day. And that new album is also just like dance, and Dashboard Confessional too. They're all releasing these like weird dancey, but the new album's actually good. The new Alkaline Trio is actually good.
I feel like Saves the Day was going that direction anyway, dude.
They were after their third, fourth album, they were putting out weird shit like that. But yeah, it's just like it feels, I think, the way that people that listen to the Rolling Stones probably felt in the 80s when the Rolling Stones were releasing whatever that album where they're all wearing like fluorescent colors on the cover of it.
The fucking
when he did the song with David Bowie.
Even after that, like just in the mid 80s, like when it was just like bad feathered hair, cheesy.
That's when they wanted to kill each other.
Yeah. We show up to the album recording, we record at the studio, and then we leave, and nobody has any contact with anybody outside of that. I feel like that's what we're entering right now with like bands from like the early mid 2000s are now getting to that point where they're like, okay, we have to survive. We can't keep doing the same music because that was very of that era. It was of that scene, but everyone's going like the light like everyone's like heard the song fucking Happy by Pharrell and is like rewriting that. That's basically what everybody's been doing, just in their own genre. And it's fucking terrible. We could rewrite Happy and just hi I'm high, and then we could send that to Snoop Dogg or Wiz Khalifa.
Hi. Yeah.
It'd be good. It would work.
I think there's fads though that like just happen throughout the years. Like didn't Kiss do a disco album at some point?
They call it the Kiss Disco album, but there's like 2 songs on that album that have that beat to it, and it was the disco era, and people just didn't like the album.
Yeah.
So they just call it the Kiss Disco album, but it's not really disco.
Yeah. So they crossed the line enough for fans to not be happy about it.
Testing the waters is what it was.
Testing the waters. Trying to do it. I mean, but yeah, once that happens and like, I didn't like any of that shit.
Yeah.
But speaking of shit I do like, things I do like, we have a featured artist tonight that we're going to be playing here on our first break. They are called Kyle Moucha and the Garland of Arms, which is the weirdest name of a band I've heard in a very, very maybe ever.
What style of music?
They call themselves neo-psych space rock.
Okay.
Which neo-psych meaning like new psych rock, space rock. I don't know. It's bizarre. It's really crazy. They're from Wilkes-Barre, Strand, Wilkes-Barre area.
It makes sense as to why the name is Null for the song.
Null? Yeah. And
Null? Who's Null?
Null. N-U-L-L.
I think you said like Null.
Null.
No, Null Gallagher. You want to start a band called Null Gallagher? Null Gallagher.
And we both it's just a we look
just
like
screaming at each other on stage.
Oh my god, I got it. It's like a Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah.
Like, but we're both dressed up like Noel Gallagher.
And you're just doubling his parts. Only, yeah,
and we do more like a Simon and Garfunkel take on Oasis.
Yeah, Noel Gallagher.
And then you add the other Gallagher, and you have some random hype guy just smashing watermelons.
Yes, yes. I love Gallagher. He's so funny.
It was almost too beautiful.
So Kalima and the Garland of Arms, they're gonna be touring this spring in New England. So if you're in New England, check them out. They have a debut album which is available on Bandcamp, Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play. And you can also follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Stay up to date on their upcoming shows and their new releases. Pretty much on everything, it's at Kalima and the Garland of Arms.
How do you spell Kalima?
Kali, K-A-L-I, one word, and then Ma, M-A. And that's not, we were talking about this before, Nick and I. We were talking, it's from Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, the Kalima. But the other thing that it's from, less impressively, if you spell it with a C, technically, Kalima was the name of the...
Just made me laugh earlier.
Yeah, it's the name of the forbidden place that no one can go to in the Tim Burton remake of Planet of the Apes.
Jesus.
Is it?
Jeez.
They call it Kalima, and the whole time, and that was my biggest gripe when I saw that movie. My biggest gripe was it's called Kalima. Like, that's already a made-up... Maybe it's not made up, maybe it's an actual Indian phrase, but it's like they already used that very famously like 17 years ago in a movie. Kalima. And now you have these apes shouting Kalima, like in pretty much the same type of like tone.
The same universe?
And no, different universe.
I don't think so, dude.
It could be.
But it's spelled C-A-N-L-I-M-A, and the whole reason that Kalima is the name of the place is because on the wall of the building that they don't go to, the place that they're not allowed to trespass upon, somebody like brushed the wall where there was like a bunch of dirt, and they brushed away, and the letters C-A-L-I-M-A appear, and then when Marky Mark shows up at the end of the movie, and after thousands of years of, I guess, no more dust settling on that part that someone wiped it off thousands of years earlier, wipes it off, and it says "Caution, live animals." And it's the place, it's the spaceship where they were holding all of the monkeys.
Gotcha.
It was a terrible fucking movie.
That movie is bad.
It is visually, it is amazing. They did such a good job visually on that, but it is just a bad fucking movie.
No idea it existed.
Yeah, it's got Paul Giamatti, Helena Bonham Carter.
They did a second one, right?
No, not
of course,
with him.
it's a Tim Burton movie.
Tim Burton. Tim Roth was in it. Tim
Roth was in it.
Tim Roth is the main villain.
That to me was when Tim Burton was dying.
Fucking dying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of the beginning of the end for him. It was kind of.
He did Big Fish before that, right?
Big Fish is after that. Big Fish is an outlier. That is a weird.
Yeah, that's a
we
weird
watched that
movie.
the other night. It is.
I
it's
love
a movie
that movie,
stands on its own, away from it being a Tim Burton movie. Like it's good enough on its own as a movie.
It really is.
I mean, it is almost a perfect movie for him.
Oh God, yeah.
Stylized.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it got as close to Edward Scissorhands as you possibly could get.
That scene alone where he's like walking through the circus and like all the popcorn's flowing.
Hell yeah.
Shit's awesome.
It's visually
that movie's like
ridiculous.
Tim Burton's Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
It always got that feeling.
Definitely.
Yeah,
and
that
even in the way that
storytelling feel.
Zemeckis did Back to the Future, and then he did Forrest Gump, and that was just like he polished everything on Back to the Future, and then made one of the best movies of all time in Forrest Gump. Yeah. As much as I love Back to the Future, you kind of have to say Forrest Gump's a better film.
Although I watch Back to the Future way more than I do Forrest Gump.
Oh God! Well, Forrest Gump's it's like Braveheart. Why would you watch that more than like 7 times ever in your life?
Yeah,
that's like a day of your life right there. Once you think about it.
Yeah.
Braveheart is good though.
Life is like watching Braveheart. So it sucks.
Oh no!
It sucks, and then somebody's wife dies.
It sucks. I painted my balls blue for this.
I painted. Well, you know what? On that note, I think we should go check out this song "No" from Kalima, Garland of Arms. I painted my balls blue for this. Fuck yes. All right, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Thank you in advance for sticking through the song, and we'll see you shortly. Bye-bye.
What?
I don't know what he just said.
What?
You could just keep doing this for hours.
Just
keep doing it.
It wouldn't make me happy.
It wouldn't make anybody happy. I don't think it makes anybody happy at all that we did it for as long as we did. Well, that was Kyle Moucha and the Garland of Arms. I mean, we were kind of talking while the song was playing. That is one of the most unique voices I have ever heard. And Nick, you brought up a person that it kind of almost perfectly reminded. Like, I couldn't pinpoint. I was thinking Pretty Girls Make Graves, like that era, like early 2000s, like weird electronic, like girl prog rock. But you said a name that isn't even really a singer, but she sings in movies. Yeah. But it's Joey Lawrence, right?
Yeah, Joey Lawrence.
No, not Joey Lawrence. Joey Lauren Adams. Joey Lauren Adams. Joey Lawrence was
and Blossom.
Whoa. Oh, no. Yeah, Joey Lauren Adams. She had that.
He sang too, didn't he?
He definitely sang. He was a crooner. He was like a Michael Bublé style type of guy. A Harry Connick.
I'm hungry for some Bublé.
Yeah. You know what? I saw a picture of him for his new album. Bublé's got like a light beard, and then like the mustache is just more prominent, but everything's all light, and he looks like do you ever watch Narcos on Netflix, the one that was about Pablo Escobar? No. He looks like the Spanish guy who's like trying to get Escobar, like the Spanish FBI agent guy with the mustache.
Know who you're talking
he
about,
looks creepy as fuck. It's amazing. I want him crooning to me all the time with that mustache.
Is drowning in pussy.
Oh my god, all of it. He can't go anywhere without getting like just drenched, I'm sure. They just throw it at him left and right.
Could you imagine having a threesome with Michael Bublé
and Harry Connick Jr.? Not the Thick I would like to be involved in a threesome with, but I'll take that.
Might go gay for that one.
Oh, you might. I would have preferred Alan Thicke, but I guess that would be necrophilia at this point.
Alan Thicke is.
Alan Thicke is
Wait, he's dead? Alan Thicke and Alan Rickman. You could fuck two dead men at one time.
Oh, that'd be a good one. Alan Thicke is Robin Thicke's dad, the father from Growing Pains.
Growing Pains.
Yeah, Mike Seaver.
Wasn't he the principal in something too?
I forget. Yeah, Growing. Yeah, he was Growing Pains.
I know what Growing Pains is, but
he was the America's dad basically for a while. Yeah.
Bob Saget was my American dad.
It was kind of running at the same time there. Yeah. But yeah, so the feeling, the voice that she has is very similar to Joey Lauren Adams. In Chasing Amy, she has that scene in the lesbian bar.
And in Empire Records.
In Empire Records, she sings
at the end.
And I wonder. I'm curious to look into if she was in bands at all, because it makes sense being in Empire Records and Chasing Amy. Like, there's a chance that band was her band. Even you never know.
That's not the girl in Empire Records.
Yeah, it is
from Chasing Amy. Not the main girl from Chasing Amy is in Empire Records. Yeah.
Yeah,
the other girl.
She sings at the end.
She's also.
I thought the girl that sang at the end was Renee Zellweger.
No, she looks a lot like Renee Zellweger. Like a lot. That is not Renee Zellweger.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's Joey Lauren Adams. They had this happen.
I'm about to Google. I swear to God, I thought that was Renee Zellweger.
No, you're gonna see her. You're gonna see her.
I mean, you're probably right.
When you're done, also Google Renee Zellweger now. It's terrifying to look at.
Really?
She had really bad. She doesn't look bad like Meg Ryan bad.
Ryan looks bad.
Meg Ryan's like exploding face. Like
no, Empire Records. Renee Zellweger is the star. Google.
Not the star.
Is Joey Lauren Adams not in Empire Records?
No, she's not.
Are we thinking? Damn.
Wait.
The girl who sings at the
oh
end
shit! It's Renee Zellweger. Look up Joey Lauren Adams. Look up Joey Lauren Adams.
So then the two of them.
We were just talking about how much that happened.
That is crazy.
We did it.
That is fucking crazy.
Kevin.
Yeah, I can see that.
She's in.
That's the girl in Big Daddy.
She's Big Daddy. That's what I was saying. She's the love interest in Big Daddy.
Oh, she's in Biodome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I definitely thought that was Joey Lauren Adams forever.
For the whole time. Yeah.
Oh my God, Renee. Well, look at Renee Zellweger now, just to be terrified of what her face.
I'm not. I haven't seen it yet, but I'd still hit it.
Look, the first one.
That's not her.
That is her. That is what she looks like.
How is that? What? That's a totally different
Renee
woman.
Zellweger. Show it to Nick.
Still hit it.
That is now what Renee Zellweger looks like. She got tired of like
ridiculous.
the weird looking face and went for just like a totally different weird looking face. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Boy, she had
that'd be like
her eyes are not even open.
Yeah, no, she had surgery to open her eyes. Apparently.
That'd be like if Sarah Jessica Parker went from looking like a foot to looking like somebody else's foot.
Oh, they're gonna say like a hand, looking like a hand. No. Now,
you know what? That's okay with me. Look at that before and after.
Yeah, it's so
I'm
weird
okay
looking.
with that.
I don't like it.
You'd still take her home?
I'm not. Oh,
yeah,
I mean,
bitch is fun. She's a movie star.
And they don't walk around with a before picture, you know? You just see them now. Yeah. That's the thing in life. You're always seeing the after photo in everyday life, you know?
You're right.
This is my before. I can show you a picture. It's the Mitch Hedberg joke. All pictures of me are me when I was younger.
Yeah.
Show me a picture of me when I was older. How the fuck did you get that? Yeah. So every picture is a before picture, and you currently is always your after picture. Right. Now, Zach, while we were listening to the Kyle Moucha and the Garland of Arms song, it was wrapping up, and you said something about the song that we wrote, saying that...
I said, our song's an abomination compared to this.
That's what you wrote. All right. Now...
But it's more like an abortion.
An abortion. It's more like an abortion. Why would you say it's like an abortion? Because it started off as a good idea?
Yeah, because
or an accident?
We just rammed it on down.
We just shit a bunch of stuff into microphones.
We just did it.
Yeah.
There was
this is what you get, I guess. This is what you get when we just cram a song in real quick.
I mean, honestly, I was still impressed.
Oh, it was
to watch the whole thing happen in about an hour.
You guys haven't heard
holy shit.
Yeah, we
end product.
We always wait to hear the actual song.
I haven't listened to it all the way through either. So.
Well,
to be honest with you,
I mean, we were a little late getting live, waiting because I wanted to wait till you had that ready to go so we could jump live with and have that all set and ready.
People just kept shouting things like, "Should you try like this? Try like this? Try like this." I was just like, okay. And the next thing you know, I was like, we got 11 seconds to record vocals and put it all together.
And for me, every week vocals, I don't really think about the structure as in depth as I'm thinking about the actual lyrics. So I have content, and then I have you play it through a couple times, and then almost every single time, once I get up to the microphone, what I thought was going to be kind of leaves my head, and something comes out. And this time, I literally sang through all of the lyrics I had written in one take.
Yep.
Just in one take, straight through, and you're like, you didn't stop. There was no hook. You didn't record anything. There's nothing catchy about what you just did.
Just pushed through it.
You just pushed through it. And I was like, yeah, it was kind of more spoken word in that way.
Pretty much, yeah.
It was like I was just reciting my own poetry.
Which could have possibly fit, though.
It could have fit.
For the theme of the song.
I mean, that's what the vocals are.
Yeah.
But then I cut them up.
You cut them up.
This is also, is this a first for this season?
Yeah.
Is the first song without a guitar solo.
Oh, no guitar solo. That is a big thing.
I know.
Now, you were playing.
Didn't have time.
You were doing the bass parts, and Kevin is a bass player, but it's been years since you've played. So you were given ideas and throwing out thoughts of
they
what you
were
thought.
perfect ideas.
And the weird like backwards trill part that you were doing, that was like
slide.
The slide. Yeah, you said Kevin said the slide. That part just sounded so fucking sweet.
Yeah, it was really good.
And then you doubled over the bass part again, right? You doubled over the bass part a couple
At
places?
this point, I don't remember.
You don't remember? You don't remember
just
anything?
kept adding, like, at one point, there's 3 basses on the hook or something like that. It's just like...
As there should be.
Just keep doing,
As
like,
there should
whatever.
Be. Now, did you come up with a name for the song at all?
Well, but, like, when I first saved it, yes, and that's the name that stuck.
Okay, what was it?
Overestimated.
Overestimated. All right. I can deal with that for what it is. Now, lyrically, what we... I forget exactly why we came to this.
Because of the grime song.
Oh, the grime song. Right. So
it's like the opposite version of the
By the way,
song.
the new grime song is amazing.
Yeah, you played that for us.
I love her.
And what is the name of the song again?
We Appreciate Power.
We Appreciate Power.
Not that this is anything like that.
No.
But that is my favorite new song.
We were going after the idea of AI, and Zach had said something to the effect of basically take care of yourself because the AI is not going to take care of you. You know, you gotta they're not going to care about you in that way.
Well, because the premise of the grime song is, Zach, you can explain it better if you want.
Well, the grime song is she's coming from the perspective of a girl pop group in the future that's bowing down to the AI so that they can be spared. Like, they realize that the AI is smarter than them and better than them, so they're just bowing down to the AI in hopes that the AI takes mercy on their pitiful human existence.
Because they appreciate power.
They appreciate
so it's just a knob job. They're just blowing the dick.
Well, I think it's also to convert people into believing that too for the AI.
Religion again.
A robot knob job.
It's a jest on all.
A rob knob job.
Isn't that just vaping?
The whole thing is tongue in cheek, like saying that. That's a bad. Yeah. It's like watching a dystopian movie. You know what I mean? Where they. Yeah, I mean that's what they sing in the hook, but like it's an anti-AI song. From that.
And like you said, in that dystopian future way, and that's kind of where I went with the lyrics. Wrote them mostly about the fact that at some point the AI is going to take over, and you need to. Conspiracy. And you need to be able to appreciate life as it is right now, you know? You gotta be able to appreciate being able to go outside and see the sun before they block out the sun with their rays or whatever the fuck they're going to do.
Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit? Okay, so this is halfway through or towards the end of you recording it. You had already said that you were listening to Limp Bizkit earlier in the day, and I was like, alright, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to sing this. I'm sitting there on the couch writing the lyrics, and I'm like, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to sing it. So I just went, okay, I need to go downstairs and just listen to something. So I came downstairs, and I had two thoughts in my head as to where I could go with the vocals. The first thought was you had said Limp Bizkit. I will listen to Limp Bizkit, a couple of songs, and just see what I can pull with my range and my register with his style. And then for whatever reason, I think it was like part of the bass line that you had just been writing, I thought of Adam Ant. And I was like, these are very total opposite sides here. And I came down, so I listened while you were recording. I listened to like 4 Limp Bizkit songs and then like 2 Adam Ant songs, and then went upstairs, and that was what was in my head. I don't think that translates to it at all. No, I don't think so at all.
I don't hear either of them in your vocals,
either of them. But that was what was inspiring. That was what was in my heart at the time of recording. You know. So why don't we jump into it? Play the song.
Okay. I'm excited.
And
to hear
I'm really stoked to hear this song that was just written. So once again, this is our weekly brunch original. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. How long did it turn out to be?
4 something.
4 something. All right, no record being broken. But we'll be back in a couple of minutes, about 4 minutes, and we'll see you then. Bye bye.
Driven time. Be kind to yourself. Take the time for yourself. God knows the AI won't pay no mind. Enjoy the sunlight while we still have a sky. Before the bots bring on the eternal cloudy night. Soak up the rays, soak in the light. Soak up the rays, soak in the light. Enjoy the sunlight while we still have a sky. Before they keep you hooked up inside. Before they keep you hooked up inside. Build yourself up before they keep you hooked up inside. Right. The sun goes to color, remember the hue. Enjoy the sunlight while we still have a sky. With the sun goes to color, remember that you enjoy the sunlight while we still have a sky. Before they keep you hooked up inside. Before they keep you hooked up inside. Build yourself up before they keep you hooked up inside. Right. The overlords won't take the time to keep you safe. Body and mind, the internet is seeping into your head. Soon will be one happy and plugged in. Still have a sky before they keep you hooked up inside. Before they keep you hooked up inside. Build yourself up before they keep you hooked up inside. Right. 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 Right.
All right, well, welcome back to Kyle Moucha Won't Shut Up. Jesus Christ, man! That once again, we did not listen to this before going live, and Zach was up there fooling around, mixing and mastering and making everything crazy. That auto-tune scream in the background,
so awesome.
Holy! I love when I hear something and I go, "Hi, that's me." I didn't do that.
One of those for me.
I didn't do that. I was the one who actually sang that. Oh, it was me, and then he just fucking distorted my voice all over the place.
I think that's my favorite so far, dude.
That is really good.
See, I have these terrible earbuds in right now. So it sounds like absolute garbage to me. Because somebody's fucking fancy headphones that he loves so much that do nothing but break down fucking constantly.
I'm blaming on the fucking cable, bro.
It has my fancy fucking headphones that never, ever fuck up.
We had a conspiracy, I think, Zach and I. We had a couch conspiracy.
I hate those headphones.
Couch conspiracy. We had a couch conspiracy that every time Justin touched his headphones, our headphones got
It was happening.
And
it was
Justin
true.
Did not believe us.
And it was from the cable, because when I kept the cable plugged in and not the headphones, it would cut everything off. The moment I disconnected.
It's too fancy.
It's Monster cables. Do not buy Monster cables.
Do not buy. Is that our sponsor this week? Don't buy Monster cables.
No, Monster cables is our sponsor.
They're our sponsor.
Yeah,
you're sponsoring us until you make better products. So fuck you. Once you make better product, you can sponsor somebody else.
You have to pick your own sponsors.
We always pick our own sponsors. You know, we just force people to be our sponsors. We
haven't got anything.
We haven't gotten anything from anybody.
Cable, if you want to send me some cables,
the Cinder has officially okayed us saying they're our sponsor, but not in an official capacity in any way.
You just said they've officially said, but not in an official.
But not like an official. The owner officially said, "I'm okay."
Nothing was notarized.
But there was nothing. There was nothing notarized. No paperwork signed. Anything like that. But Cock rings, on the other hand, and on both hands. It's a weird place to put your cock ring.
It's just a noun, really.
Yeah. We are sponsored. Like I've been saying to people, they're like, "Why are you saying that? Like you're sponsored by cock rings? Like what company?" I'm like, "No. Just the idea of cock rings. Yeah. We're sponsored by the idea of cock rings. Using cock rings. We are sponsored by, and we are sponsoring them. Yeah. It's kind of like Got Milk, you know. It's like not a specific dairy farmer. It's just any cock ring. Right. You know, not a specific dairy farmer. Just any cock ring. That's what we're doing. That's what it is. That's what we're doing.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, our special guests this week, as we said earlier, we have Mr. Nick Dario, who I've affectionately called Dick Nario for years. You said that was a Vina invention.
Yeah.
That's a Vina invention. That's great. My brother Keith, who just chimed in on the chat, asking if that we can be sponsored by the Idea of Bridges.
Idea of Bridges.
Yeah, we can be sponsored by the Idea of Bridges.
Okay.
Musical bridges or physical bridges?
Jeff Bridges?
Jeff Bridges.
Is he trying to take over? Is he trying to fight Tommy Lee Jones right now?
Oh, no. I want to see that fight.
Bridges made of Jeff?
Oh, Bridges made of Jeff.
That's my new folk band.
Bridges made of Jeff. But we got Nick Dario here, and then we also have Mr. Kevin Sessions joining us as well. Nash Bridges. Nash Bridges. That was an old TV show. Nash Bridges.
Yeah.
That was what's his face? The guy from Miami Vice, I think. Don Johnson, I think he then went on and played Nash Bridges. Paul Anka, did he have a spot in Miami Vice?
Yes, yeah.
Like in the movie?
He did the score.
Oh, he did the score. I was like, is he just in there? No. He's a coke dealer in one of the episodes. Paul Anka, just singing a tune and selling some cocaine.
I don't know who that is.
Paul Anka, he's an old singer. He's an old singer guy. And also the name of the dog on Gilmore Girls, Paul Anka.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It is the name. Yeah, they named the dog Paul Anka.
We still have to do that episode. We're going to have a Gilmore Girls
Girls episode?
Yes.
Yeah, we will one day.
Count me out.
We'll do that one day, but it's going to be a day in the future because, Nicholas, we're having you on because you're moving.
Yeah.
You're moving.
Yep.
Now, Nick, you and I have been friends now for, I don't know, how old are you? Like 16, 17 when we kidnapped you from your bedroom that one night?
I was 14 years old.
14 years old.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
28, man.
28?
Gonna be 29 in like
Christ.
3 days.
Yeah, so 14 years ago. So half your life ago, we kidnapped you in the middle of the night. And ever since then, you've been my friend.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it's been.
Yeah. He's also been chained
Mom's
to
always
the
told me.
He's been chained to the radiator, Black Snake Moan style.
Mom's always told me, like, you don't talk to strangers, but I was like, they want me to go in this van.
Yeah,
and they promised me, like, free music.
We legitimately picked you up. You were 14. We needed someone to be a videographer for something. And I think we picked you up at like 10, 11 at night at your house. You were 14 years old. You got into a 15-passenger Dodge Econoline shit van.
Yes.
And it was me, probably Tyree DeZambo, maybe Micah at that point. He was probably the reason we knew you, right, Micah?
No, actually, because I was there when he tried out for the band. Yes.
So predating that. So now we were involved with a group called My Steady Backfire back in the day, and that's when Nick was helping us out doing video stuff. But I don't think I knew that you were 14 when we went to go pick you up. Like, we went to go pick you up, and we're all like 18 to 24
like I was
years old.
a fangirl lying about my age or something.
Yeah, man. I thought you were gonna.
I swear I'm not 16.
I'm 14, but it's cute. But so you kind of just jumped in at that point, and then Kevin, I met you. Oddly, I met you at my house in my backyard one day. You were dating my neighbor, and you came to my house with my neighbor, and that was fucking bizarre. And then years later, you had a cast on your arm, right? You had broken your arm or something like that?
Broke my hand.
Yeah, you broke your hand.
Sure
so that's
did.
the first time I met. And then, like, years later, you become the bass player for Waking Amelia.
You got me the day that I tried out.
Yeah.
We went to Jock and Jill's, which I believe could have been front row at the time.
I think it might have been front row at that point.
Yeah.
Just side note, I'm wearing a Jock and Jill's t-shirt.
You are doing that. How many of those do you own still?
This is the only survivor.
The only survivor?
No, well,
you do have a girl's uniform pinned to your door.
I do have.
That's like a sick fucking trophy.
It is.
Like one of the old shot girl uniforms.
The referee
uniform.
It's so fucking funny. Screwed to my bedroom door.
Never forget though going to front row with you that night.
Yeah, what was that night? Because I forget.
We were supposed to. We were waiting for Dave and Micah. We were setting up the bunker that night. We were actually building everything.
Yeah, we were building the studio up at Micah's mom's property.
That was supposed to be a tryout, but instead it was 5 hours of helping control.
Intensive labor.
Yeah, basically.
My dad used to do that to my friends.
I played bass for 10 minutes. They were like, "Hey, you're great."
Yeah, you're good.
Nice.
Now keep fucking down the soundproofing back up there.
So we wrap everything up. Kyle and I we leave the bunker. We head down the front row, and we're supposed to be waiting for Dave and Micah because Micah's got to squeeze into his pants and put on makeup.
Yeah. And well, it was really hard to squeeze into those pants with the hair straightener that he kept up his ass at the time, you know. I always told him that
it's out.
Yeah, he took it out. He took it out. Yeah. His hair was always perfectly straight. I'm like, where do you keep your hair straightener? Just shoved up your asshole? And it's like, is that what's sticking out the back of your pants?
Is that what I need to do to my ass hair?
Yeah, you got
my pants better.
Yeah. to make pants fit better, shove a hair straightener up your asshole. All right, so we go to front row.
We go there, we're waiting for Dave and Micah, and you and I sit down at a booth by the door.
Okay.
You get up, you go to use the bathroom, and you say, "When I come back to this table, it better be filled with whores." This is your words exactly.
All right.
You walk away, and by pure dumb luck, a girl walks up to me while I'm sitting at the table by myself now because you're in the bathroom. And she asks if anybody's there, and I say, "No, just my friend. He's in the bathroom. Like, feel free to sit down." She sits down with her 4 friends.
Yeah.
And all of her
my
friends
gosh.
come and sit down at the table. I bullshit my way through a conversation with them. They stay at the table. Kyle comes back. Mind you, this is like our first real time hanging out.
Yeah.
And he's just in shock. This is dumb luck. This is not...
He thinks you're fucking Swayze.
You were. You were double dosing. Yeah.
And Kyle comes over and he's like, "Oh my god." And all the girls are like, "Wow, what's the big deal?" And I'm like, "Oh." And Kyle turns to them and he looks and he says, "Well, just before I got up to go to the bathroom, I told him that when I come back, this table had better be filled with beautiful women." And sure enough, it is.
That's pretty smooth. That's pretty smooth.
I thought you were going to say whores.
That's what I would say now.
It is Strasbourg, though, so beautiful's probably knock it down a peg or two.
Whores was probably the description.
Beautiful whores, man.
Beautiful whores. Beautiful whores.
Oh, you beautiful whore.
Oh, that, yeah. So then you played bass in Waking Amelia, and then I'm trying to think. Like we met through that. Kevin, you met while you played with Waking Amelia, and then after that, you haven't really played much musically since then, really.
Not much.
And you said it's been 2 years since you really picked up a bass.
An instrument.
You still have a bass though, right?
Sir.
All right. So next moving, fuck that. This is now an intervention to get you to play music again. What was your history of getting into playing music? What was the thing that brought you into it? Why did you want to pick up any instrument?
That's funny. I actually started playing bass because I was a kid being forced to go to church.
Okay.
And my church had a worship team.
Hey man, I played bass in the church band too.
Yeah, and that's actually where I started. They told me they needed a bass player for a church worship team. I knew nothing about music.
And this is in New York, when you lived in New York?
This is back when I lived in New York, yeah. And I was like 13, 14. Yeah, I was 13 years old. And I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll try bass. He showed me pretty much just open chords and semitones and explained to me the gist of what octaves were within an hour, and then handed me a guitar.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that was really it. And
now, how long did you play with the church band?
About 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
And then from there, did you segue into playing in your more secular style of music?
From there, once I stopped going to private school, really. Once I got into public school, I met more kids because I was always really.
Was it a Catholic private school, or was it?
It was Christian.
It was a Christian public or private school? Yeah. So we went to public school. That's where you start getting more introduced to the music.
Yeah, because I had always had a thing for punk rock. Like even when I was a kid, I met somebody when I was younger who introduced me to punk rock, who introduced me to like graffiti and all this cool shit. And I was a kid and I was in the church all the time, and I was like, wow, look at you and all this cool stuff you do. Like, so I got really taken in by that, and he introduced me to like NoFX and Rancid and stuff like that when I was like 13 years old.
Hell yeah!
And I always just had that in the back of my mind, so I'd be playing bass, and then like I started playing bass, and I would like start to realize like Matt Freeman plays bass way better than anybody in my church, you know, and just stuff like that. And I would just start to like pick up on people like, I didn't know bass could be played this way. I didn't know there were so many other
that is the fun thing that I always saw in punk rock and ska bands. What I always gravitate towards, you know, the rhythm section. The rhythm section in any music has to be solid. That bass and the drums like have to be something that is bringing your attention, you know, with just the driving force, like however you want to look at it. But the playing bass for me, I think, was the closest I was ever able to get to being a drummer. Because it is percussion in that way, and I tried playing drums for a while. I was fucking god awful, but in ska bands and punk bands, the bass player had to be just as quick as the drummer. You had to keep on top of that, and then also just the tones that they kind of like went after, like that a little bit more
like warm.
Yeah,
like
warmer.
Tones.
I always think of Catch-22, like their like the first album, despite how, you know, not great the recording of Keys Be Nights,
that's my favorite
one
version of that.
It is so good, that the bass tone on that was something that was why I kind of wanted to play bass. Now, you went to bass. Did you ever try doing guitar or any other instrument?
I have a guitar,
You have a guitar?
Yeah.
You play guitar as well?
Not as well as I play bass, but yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever try to do drums?
I play Tyrese set all the time. Back to the bunker,
Hell yeah.
No,
Now,
pretty often.
Nick. Fuck Kevin. Now it's an intervention to you.
All right.
You own a guitar.
I do.
You own a guitar.
Yeah.
Right? And you're moving. You're moving to South Carolina, right?
Yes.
To
South Carolina!
Now, you're going to be in South Carolina.
Take your shirt off!
Take your shirt off.
Woo!
Right now.
That song is North Carolina.
And you have a guitar.
Still
And when did you first start trying to learn how to play guitar? Like attempting to get into
my dad's mom had gotten me guitar lessons when I was probably around like 12 or 13.
Okay.
I went like 4 or 5 weeks in a row, and then motherfucker started trying to give me homework.
Yeah.
To do, like, on top of my regular grade school bullshit kid homework.
Yeah.
And I was skateboarding a lot of the time, too. And I was like, I don't have time for all this, like, homework. So I was just like, screw it, guy, sorry.
So
and I felt really bad. I felt like a spoiled little brat, actually, because my grandmother wanted me to learn so bad, and I just couldn't
Now, the
focus
guitar
on it.
you have now, was that the guitar that was purchased for you back then?
Oh, no. I did have that for a very long time. Those like, tiny little mini acoustic.
Oh, it was just a little mini one, like a 3/4 scale or something
like that. Yeah.
That's sweet. My sister used to have like a 3/4 scale classical guitar. That was real fun to play around on. Just makes your hands
the old
feel really
nylon string.
Yeah, the nylon string ones. Makes your hands feel real big, and you can go from the 1st to the 8th fret. You're just like, oh, look at this,
and
play some sweet metal tapping.
I haven't actually really tried playing since I picked up archery.
Okay.
And because that was one of the things that used to bother me all the time too about playing guitar. I tried playing bass for a while too. You just like, it's so hard on my fingers. Like I can't. I could play for like a half hour before I was like, my fingers just hurt. I don't want to do this.
So you think playing or going with archery, your fingers
I'm all calloused up.
You're all calloused up.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been doing archery for, and what was the kind of the driving force behind getting into that? Was it anything like movie related or anything that you just thought was cool, or hunting?
My dad's this weird amalgamation of people where like we always did, like, we had BB guns, we had, you know, paintball guns and stuff. Like, one of the very first memories where we went to this little river behind my house, built boats out of styrofoam and used like those summertime like handheld cooling fans to power them, and then we were just sitting there throwing M80s at these styrofoam boats we just made. Like, my dad was just a fun guy, and like, so you know, archery was just another one of those things that we just did.
So you've been doing archery since you were a younger kid?
Yeah, and I'm still really not, like, I couldn't compete. But, I'm good enough that, like, I have fun with it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you always drive around with a bow and arrow in your vehicle, and is that legal?
I don't really know if it's
legal.
Because
isn't a baseball bat illegal to have in your vehicle unless you're going to or from?
That's why you bring a baseball bat, a baseball, and a glove.
Yeah. You have to have all of that. Okay.
You know what I always brought, though? And I still have one in my trunk.
And a bloody sock.
No, a skateboard.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't skateboard, but I always had a skateboard in the trunk.
Because you could smack someone in the fucking face with that.
You smash somebody in the face with the truck.
Hit him with the truck.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's more devastating.
Especially if you're rocking like the old school like independent twos. Those things were heavy.
Yeah, and no one's gonna be like, yo, why do you have a skateboard? Be like,
where was that?
It's just fucking skateboard. Like, what are you gonna question?
Yeah, anything can get used as a weapon in that. I mean, everybody
in the 90s have a skateboard.
Most people have a tire iron in their car, you know, and that is just a weapon waiting to be
Yeah, but you have a jack with it though.
You have a jack with it too. But do you think you could get in trouble if you got pulled over? You didn't have a jack and you just have a tire iron? No. What if you had a trunk?
You're an idiot.
What if you had a trunk full of tire irons?
Yes, then maybe.
And only one of them was covered in blood. One of them's covered in blood and is right next to that bloody sock that Zach carries around everywhere he goes. Yeah.
My Jeep is full of ammunition right now.
Well, it's fine as long as it's separate from the gun.
I don't even have the gun. I just have this full of bullets.
Oh, jeez. Well, that vehicle just looks like it should be stockpiled of all ammunition at all times. That is the end of the world.
I feel like it should have rotating shotguns.
It's got ammunition and random old water bottles full of dip spit.
You gotta have like caltrops that come out the back when you push a button.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. So I heard this thing that I wanted to bring up because I thought it was a funny app, just based on the reasoning behind it. So a lot of fast food restaurants have started making apps and stuff, right? Burger King has their app, and
did you download it?
I didn't download it yet, but I'm about to download it based on this wonderful thing I read, where if you have the Burger King app and you are within 600 feet of a McDonald's, you can order a Whopper online for 1 penny.
What?
Yeah, right? Think about that.
Well, let's get the app and drive to McDonald's.
We need to go try this out. So it's for a penny. You can buy a Whopper.
Just one each time?
I'm not sure. They didn't really.
I'm gonna buy 100.
Yeah.
Off the air.
Only if you are within 600 feet of a McDonald's.
I'll order it inside the fucking.
I'm gonna order it and still get McDonald's. Like, I don't think what they're trying. They're fucking dumb here.
I just got 100 Whoppers.
Hold on. So what you do right now is you go to Wendy's for dollar fries.
Yes.
Any size, and then you get a fucking.
You go to Chick-fil-A for your sauce, unless it's Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you order a Whopper in McDonald's while you're getting some chicken nuggets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would switch that. I would get the chicken nuggets from Wendy's and the fries from
but the fries are $1. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
So I'm going cheapest price.
It wouldn't be the first time though that somebody in marketing has come up with an idea like that and it got abused and then they got fired.
Well, what else do you think of?
There was a time where you can, the cups, the pudding cups.
Yeah.
There was a company a while back where they were running a special that if you like every lid that you would send them was like a mile of travel they did with an airline or something like that.
Shit.
And some guy found a bunch of supermarkets that were selling them individually. So he was paying like 10 cents per like cup of pudding, and he just bought everybody out, and they just sat there and ripped all the UPC codes off and sent them in. And he said it was something like 10 or 20 years in between there somewhere that him and his family, like once a year, they go on vacation, and like all paid for by this stupid promotional deal.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, that was my immediate thought is how many people are going to be inside of a McDonald's or next to a McDonald's, and how many McDonald's are next to a fucking Burger King?
All of them, dude.
So like you're gonna be in Burger King and you're 600 feet away from McDonald's, so you just be like, what can we get for you? Hold on 1 second.
Well, I mean, think about this. That probably would have worked if McDonald's was still in Walmart. So think about that.
Oh yeah.
Could have fucking been right there.
But I guess they want you to be able to prove that you're so loyal to Burger King and the brand of Burger King that you could be within the smelling distance of a McDonald's, and you're like, nope, I'm gonna go get my Whopper. I mean, for a fucking penny, I'm gonna go get the Whopper.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm gonna go get the Whopper for sure. But then I'm curious, is like you're within 600 feet of that McDonald's, but does it like, do you get to pick which Burger King you're going to?
No, you have to go to Kentucky.
Yeah, I was saying maybe they're just like you get your one candy one, but it's all there's only one.
Because that shit doesn't age.
Yeah, and you go to Kentucky, it's just ready at all times. They're just like throwing them out
just in a glass case. You get number 1. You're the first one.
You get number 185726. They're just all sitting here.
Yeah.
They're just all sitting here. Oh Jesus! Now, I think it's a dumb idea for an app. I think it's a stupid thing for them to do. Just
is it to get people to use the app?
It's to get people to use the app, but it's to get people just, like I said, to prove that they're loyal to their brand, that they will be inside a McDonald's or near a McDonald's, and they're going to go do that. Now, what I was going to ask you guys, what brand would you, or let's say what restaurant would you be in that you could order food from another restaurant, like that you wouldn't get any food, and you wouldn't get any food. Like if you just, what restaurant would you go into? Would you be going, okay, I'm going to go into this restaurant because there's a deal like this that I can order food from another restaurant and not do, because food is great.
I wouldn't order food.
Yeah, I'm still ordering food from that place. You're telling me to go within 600 feet of them, and I'm hungry. You're telling me to go to another restaurant,
especially if you, like we do, smoke.
Yeah.
You know, you smoke and you're probably walking in there fucking
tobacco.
Yeah.
And you get that. The tobacco's not holding you over long enough, so now you gotta go get some food. Yeah, you gotta go get some food in your bodies.
That's it.
But is there any restaurant that you could be in that you would do that and not order the food? Is there any like fast food chain? Would it be Chick-fil-A? Subway. Yeah, you would go to a Subway and then not order any food from
them.
Quiznos. Yeah. Order Quiznos. But then you have to find Quiznos.
Firehouse subs.
Oh my God, Firehouse subs. I remember hearing about Firehouse subs. Were they good at all?
They're pretty good, yeah.
Because I've had Jersey Mike's and I'm not
Jersey
that
Mike's is alright. Firehouse is pretty solid. We had it when we were living in Florida.
When you were living in Florida?
Yes. They had one that was like 5 minutes from the house.
Jesus.
Just go there.
Do they have any in South Carolina? Do you know?
I don't know. Probably.
You don't know? Now, what part of South Carolina are you moving to?
The capital state. We're moving to
the capital state
Columbia,
of South Carolina?
Or the capital city.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, apparently the locals also, for some dumb reason, call it cola instead of Columbia. Yeah.
Well, I think that's how they order their drinks as well.
Are they
are they
a
Pepsi
pop? Are they a pop? Are they a Coke? Are they a place that orders everything as Coke?
No idea.
Have you ever been there? You've never been to South Carolina?
We've been through South Carolina multiple times on tours and shit.
These are things you need to know.
You need to find that shit out.
How are you moving somewhere without having been there?
It's rough. I mean, it's not my choice. I mean, it is and it isn't. I could stay here if I wanted to. I would then be single and very lonely. But
is it like for her work or something?
Yeah, she applied for a job. She applied a bunch of places. She applied to another Best Buy in Texas as well. We were hoping for Austin.
Yeah,
that would have been awesome.
That would have been sweet.
But now we got Columbia.
Columbia. Now, do you think this is a stop along the path for you guys? Is this going to be Columbia?
Yeah, we're not staying there. We have a year lease now, but what's going to happen is they're basically putting her on the fast track for like general management or district management. Well, so it's very unlikely that when she gets to that point that she can apply for GM spots, that she's not going to get a GM spot in that area.
Most of the time those companies don't do that. They'll train you somewhere and then
they want to bring you somewhere else.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm getting to with this, is there any way that she then gets to run the Best Buy in Stroudsburg?
It could happen. She's already said, though, that she does not want to come back here.
She doesn't want to come back?
No.
I was going to say, because you need to come back to do A, more episodes of this show, and B, we've had projects in the past that we've started working on. We had one last year that we started doing called American Beer Ventures, you and I.
I'm still very sad about that.
It can still work. It can still happen in some degree. We were talking about potentially being able to do it still, even though you're going to be in South Carolina there. But that idea, real quick, was we were going to go to a bunch of different breweries and we were going to talk to them about their beer, what makes their beer different, the driving force behind them becoming, and kind of what we had when we had the guys on from Abomination Brewing, kind of that idea.
Just talk to them about their beers and what they do,
and it was really fun. I mean, honestly, even though nothing has come of it yet, filming that promo that we did for it was
a lot of fun.
Extremely fun.
That's a good promo.
That still has. I'm still not happy with it. Every time I see it, I'm like, that could have been much better. But I mean,
is it because of me?
No, not at all.
Is it because of me? Did I do something?
I think it needed to be much shorter. That's the thing.
Much shorter.
Yeah.
Well, that's because of me. I wrote it.
No,
fucking asshole.
No, because we already edited it down plenty.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have just continued editing, but I don't think anybody else is in agreement with me about it.
Yeah. I thought it turned out really nice.
I do. It's not like I don't like it. I just think that it could have been more effective.
You hate me, Nick. Is that why you're moving? Is that really why you're moving?
Kyle,
because you fucking hate me?
Close to being true.
You hate us so much.
I always think that you dislike me, though.
I can move. You want me to move? It'll
come to South Carolina with us.
Oh, South Carolina?
Yeah,
that is kind of a goal at some point. I do like the Carolinas. I like the idea of going down there a little bit less winter.
You're a Panthers fan, though.
Oh, hell yeah. I don't like football, so let's do it.
It was 60 degrees there the other day.
Yes, exactly.
And that's another reason why Jackie's going down, because she has really bad muscle spasms and back problems.
So the cold, not good for that.
No, when we were in Florida, even when we went to go and visit New Orleans, we were there for like 6 or 7 days, and we walked probably I don't know, a couple miles a day, and she didn't have a problem at all.
Hell yeah.
The minute we got home, she's constant pain.
This area does kind of just breed.
Always wet.
Yeah, it's wet, it's cold, it's humid, whatever it is, it's never really good.
It's good if you want to be miserable.
Yeah.
Do you want to be miserable?
Just go live in Alaska.
See, now this is what this is turning into. This is us just giving you more reasons to be okay about moving, you know?
I need that because I've had a lot of people giving me plenty of reasons
you are
to not
leaving
go.
Right before seasonal depression kicks in for everyone.
Yeah.
You're right.
You're leaving, you're getting a little taste of the cold right now, and then you're going to go down there, it's going to be warm, and then it also gives everybody
and then I'll just have regular depression.
Yeah, you'll just have
because I won't have any friends.
Yeah. Well, you'll figure that out. You'll figure out
I'm not
people
good with people.
You know so many people, and
I know people.
You'll meet new ones, you know? You'll meet new people. Yeah. It's like going to a new school, I'm sure. It's that weird feeling, right?
I guess.
Now, have you ever, besides when that one time you moved to Florida, besides that, did you have you ever lived anywhere else besides this area?
Yeah, I lived in Vermont for about a year, and then I lived in Florida for about a year, and
hell yeah.
And I try places out.
You like to give a little
gonna do the same thing with South Carolina. I'll probably only be there for about a year.
Hell yeah.
Maybe a little bit longer. Who knows? But probably not.
All right, Kevin, if you could choose for a place to Nick to move to,
it can't be your butthole. Don't say.
Would it be farther away than South Carolina?
Would it be my butthole?
Would it be your butthole? That's pretty close by, actually. Could it be? It can't be his butthole.
It is warm.
Can't be his butthole. Do you think? Would you send him to like Guam? Do you want to get him as far away from you as possible? Is that what you'd like to do? I think
it'd have to be a state that I haven't visited yet.
Yeah, you just go.
All right.
Okay, South Dakota, do it. Get transferred to South Dakota.
That's even colder.
Maybe
I have heard great things about the Midwest.
Yeah,
everybody
Montana.
I know who comes back from the Midwest, like this area, and talks about it like it's America's best kept secret.
Yeah,
like their way of life, their fucking everything is just excellent.
It's also very cheap.
Chilling, they're having
very cheap, very wide open, very nothing.
And everybody just assumes there's nothing going on.
You want to talk about depression?
There, everybody who's out there is just like, stay away.
Good, stay away.
We love this shit. Don't ruin it.
I mean, I like the idea of having a house in the middle of the woods or the middle of fucking nowhere where nobody can bother me. So if you are surrounded by 500 square miles of nothing, nobody can really bother you.
That's why my uncle moved to Stafford in the middle of the fucking desert.
Middle of the desert.
His neighbor is 45 minutes away. That's his neighbor, 45 minutes away. That's fucking crazy.
As soon as you get out of the tri-state area, everything goes down, price of living wise.
Like, price of living wise, temperature, everything.
Even in South Carolina, we were looking to buy initially. We just didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
And there was a place, 22 acres, like 1,200 square foot home, $75,000.
Jesus.
Right?
All right. Well, next week, Kyle Moucha Won't Shut Up will be brought to you by our new compound that we're buying down in South Carolina. We have 22 acres. Let's do it. Let's look at the hunting laws in South Carolina. I'm sure they're way more lax than up here. It's just you can shoot anything that doesn't have like a smile or something.
Whenever you do go down south,
that's not smiling.
If they know you're from here, like they know you're from this area, they ask you all the time about hunting white-tailed deer.
Really?
Like, it's like open season up there, right? Like you just kill as many as you want. Like they're crazy crazy about it.
Yeah, come up here. I wish I could hunt with a car, not my car, 'cause I don't have one. But I wish I could hunt. I wish I could drive with a car. But I also wish I could hunt with one.
Moved out here.
Yeah.
I had a biology teacher when I moved to South.
Yeah.
And all she would, like, at least once a week, we would rant about how we are overpopulated by deer.
Yeah.
And if you hit a deer with your car, don't do anything to save it. Make sure it dies.
Make sure it dies.
There are too many deer in the state. Like, if you see a deer,
rerun
just
that
make
fucker
sure it's not
over.
alive anymore.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what. Like,
true,
and she was
yeah.
going, no. I actually, like, after living in the Poconos, I spent about 5-6 years living out here. I'm not like I've been a reckless driver. But at the times where I was actually in accidents, like I was hit by deer. I did not hit deer.
Fucking run right in the
They
side
run
of your car.
into you.
Yeah.
You stop and they look at you. You start going. They're not moving. You start going a little bit quicker, and then they just run into the fucking side of your vehicle.
100%. Can't fucking believe it.
They have
wild,
they want to die. They have a suicide wish.
Multiple times by deer.
Yep.
I'm slowing down and being cautious, trying to make sure the deer's okay.
No, and they don't give a shit.
No. And it's funny too because they don't have very good traction on pavement.
No.
And very recently,
Yeah.
Jackie and I were driving. I stopped dead. It was still running towards the car. Tried to stop and slid like on its stomach into the side of the fucking car.
Oh, that's an epic fail right
Dumbass.
there. I remember one time I was about like 19 years old. I was driving. I had this little red Hyundai coupe, little like made of 100% plastic, early 90s piece of shit car, and we're driving up in like Bushkill area around like some like curvy roads, and my brother Craig's in the passenger seat, and we're talking, and we had this bet going on for the summer with our friends that if you could punch a deer, you got like X amount of points. If you did all these different things, you got X amount of points. So we decided that if you could punch a deer, that was kind of like the end-all be-all. Like, that was like the greatest thing. We didn't think anybody would be able to punch a deer. Our one buddy leaned out the side of his girlfriend's Mustang while she was driving by a deer, punched a deer, and I'm pretty sure broke his hand.
Yeah.
We hit a deer, and I was driving down the road, and Craig's just like looking at it going like, and I'm like, what? And I turned right as I hit this deer, and the deer goes flying off into the woods, and he's like, we should see if it's alive or not. And we walked out, and it was still like just like gasping for breath, and then Craig's like, we should probably just put it out of its misery. And I turn around, and he just got this giant fucking rock in his arm, standing over the head, just like, we should just crush it. And I was like, wait. He's like, what? Yeah. And I was like, he was like, wait. And he's like, what? And I went, and I just went, and I was like, we can punch this thing. It's still technically alive. And we get points. So he put down the rock, and he punches it, and then I punched it, and then right after the last one of us punched it, the thing just fucking died, and we didn't have to crush it with a rock.
So you punched a deer to death.
To death. Yeah. Punched a deer to death.
Did you get extra points?
We didn't. But the funny thing is about 30 seconds after we got back in the car, I hit another fucking deer. Same road, but we didn't get to punch this one or crush it with a rock. We didn't get to do that.
Did it total your car at that point?
It literally snapped like the front half of the car like a little bit. Like there was just like a clear line from where it hit, and then it was just duct tape until I got rid of it.
I won't say any other names to incriminate anybody but myself, but we were going out with a mutual friend. It was me and him.
Okay.
And we were at his house, and he's like, hey, man, have you ever had cocaine? And I was like, no, not really. Haven't been exposed to shit like that yet. And we plan on going out drinking. And he's like, well, look, I know you're a lightweight. If you do cocaine, you'll be able to drink and hang out with everybody a lot longer. And I was like, good idea. Early 20s. So we do line at his house. We start driving up to the city. On 611, nail a fucking deer in the middle of nowhere, and get out. Headlights fine, like it's just the actual plastic is shattered. The bulb's fine. Yeah. He looks at me, and goes, "Dad's gonna be pissed, huh?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "So I guess we're going home." I was like, "Fuck no, we're still going out." Like, I'm all like ramped up. This shit's awesome. I want to do more.
Do more. Yeah. So the first time you ever did anything like that, you hit a deer.
Yes.
Have you ever hit a deer again doing anything like that?
No, actually.
Okay, so it wasn't a repeat thing.
No.
All right, I was gonna say, do cocaine and you kill deer.
Yeah.
That sounds like a weird weekend.
It was really
like
sad though, because in the middle of the road, it wasn't just the one deer. It was this little baby deer, a doe and a buck, and the buck ran to the left, the doe ran to the right, and the baby deer just fucking stood there. I was like, I can't stop.
You broke a family.
Yeah, I killed Bambi.
Destroyed a family. Yeah. You are the man from Bambi.
Well, he got up and ran away. He was fine, little bastard.
Little bastard.
Yeah. Dear Karma, next episode name.
Oh, Dear Karma. Nice. I like that. All right. Well, guys, I want to thank both of you for coming over and doing this episode with us. Nick, we love you. We're gonna miss you, man. Yeah. And we'll see you. We'll see you in 2 months.
No, we stop by.
We'll see you in 2 months when you move back from Florida.
Yeah.
Kevin, love you, brother. Thanks for stopping by and being on the show. As always, we want to give a big shout out to the other shows from Moot.tv. You can check out Let Me Ask You a Question, released every Monday, along with our drops on iTunes and Stitcher. And then once in a while, you can get White Wasabi, where they talk about some anime. They are a little bit more sporadic every couple of months there. Mr. Justin Olimpedo, thank you so much for orchestrating everything and doing everything that you do. You lovely, weird piece of shit.
Thanks.
You.
Well, the comfy chair.
Yeah, he gets the comfy chair. Yeah. Well, and then Zach gets the couch with me because he's being punished for something for eternity, I guess. But thank you, Zach, for being here as always. Mr. Zachary. Stormin. Alrighty, and for Kyle Moucha Won't Shut Up, I am Kyle Moucha. We will play you out with our theme song. We'll be back next week. Next week we are going to have Mean Mark.
Wait, is it our Christmas special episode?
It is not. We're going to do the Christmas one the week after that, I think. But we're doing the Mean Mark Miller episode where we will tease right now. We have an official release of songs that have never been released before, that if you are from our area and you grew up in the scene, the punk scene, and you were around in the 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We are going to be releasing some wonderful new songs from Maxwell Demon, and you've never heard them before. And I believe they're like new old recordings, right?
I think so.
Oh, it's gonna be sweet.
Remastered.
No, I believe they're new.
They're new,
fresh recordings
of old songs.
Of old songs
that they wrote before,
but never got it.
But never recorded.
Oh, it's gonna be fucking sweet. But tune in and check that out, because Mark is an ass, and he's just gonna be real mean to us the entire fucking time.
Tomorrow. It's just his first day working in over a month.
He's gonna be so fucking mean to you. He's
so mean.
Try to like fart directly in his mouth right away. So just set the day off on a good level.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you'll hear our theme song now to play us out. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week, the 11th, live at 9 o'clock on YouTube, or you'll be listening on iTunes or something like that. But we'll see you next time, guys. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Wait, so why is it Mark?
Mood.tv.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme music for your own show. Who am I? Kelsey Grammer. If I could only drink like him. We're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be weak. We're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be total experimental pieces of shit. We're not over yet. Now we are.